Hello, Jen here with a layout for the Stretch the Sketch series. This is a series that we bring to you monthly where we take a sketch and stretch it or sometimes even shrink it into a layout that is a different size than what the sketch is meant for. So this month, our sketch is a 12 by 12 sketch. You saw it at the beginning, that really fun hexagon sketch, and I'm going to stretch it into a 2-page layout. So I have my pictures, and I noticed in my pictures that the two sort of most prominent colors that stand out are in my oldest and my youngest's shirt. So Kaylin's wearing sort of a peachy pink shirt, and Sebastian's wearing a green shirt that in the picture anyways looks a little bit more kind of on that darker minty side. And I happen to have my Hello Love paper pad out because that's part of my How to Kill a Kit with Style kit this month. I'm really trying hard to use it as much as possible, and it just so happens that these two colors are the predominant colors in the papers in this kit, so I'm going with it. I flipped through quickly and I found that page that they're almost like color swatches or like little slides. What do they call them? I think they're just called slides. Yeah. So instead of a picture, it's the colors, but then they have little words printed on them, little sayings and stuff like that. You really won't end up being able to see any of that by the time I'm done. But I just liked that they're just different variations on the greens and the pinks. So it works perfectly for these photos. And my photos are from Signal Hill in St. John's, Newfoundland. And so I've been trying to scrap a lot of these pictures as 2-page spreads just to be able to get lots of photos into one layout. I'm starting with white cardstock too, so I wanted to do a little bit of mixed media just to kind of put some interest in the background because all my colors are so light and pastel and pretty, and so I want to make sure that there was some darker, more concentrated color in that background. So I started with the Heidi Swapp Color Shine in Mint, and you saw there I put some of it down just straight from the bottle, and some of it I watered down a little bit, and so that kind of gives it more of that watercolor effect where it's just different shades and tones. And not all one solid color. And then here I'm just using my watercolors to get more of that pinky peach color. It was actually really hard to mix that color and get exactly the shade of her shirt. So I just kind of, after playing around with it a bit, I just kind of went with what I had. Red is a really hard color for me, and so I feel like anything that I'm mixing that's any kind of variation of red, it's really difficult for me to get those the right tones. So you get what you get, but in the end, it all works out. It looks fine. So now here's my paper, and I'm just gonna jump right in and start punching out my hexagons. This is a punch that I got from Creative Memories. One of my really good friends sells it, and they were having this really amazing deal. I don't know why. I can't remember if it was that they're not carrying these anymore or whatnot, but anyways, I got a whole bunch of punches for a really rocking good price. So I like this one. I'm so thankful that this is actually the type of punch that I have, because I don't have many punches, and it really isn't like me to buy this kind of a punch, but I'm so glad I had a hexagon like this because it meant that I was able to punch right through this paper and really kind of bring my plan to life. So what I plan on doing is on the left hand side, this page here, this is going to be the left hand side, I'm going to use the negative space from the hexagons. And on this page, I'm going to use that negative space And I'm also going to follow the sketch fairly close. Obviously in the sketch, there's only one picture, so that changes things a little bit. It just changes the way that everything has to be set up. But for the most part, I'm following it fairly closely. So, and that's the second side. I just wanted to lay everything out to make sure I had enough pieces and that it was going to work on both sides. So anyway, so this side I'm following it kind of straight up. I'm going to pop up this whole section. I saved you from watching it because it was a lot of just me plunking down little foam squares, but that whole piece is popped up, and now I'm going to put down the strip that goes right across. That's also from the paper pack, and that's just a scrap that was left over from another layout I did and just happened to have enough to be able to do this. And I noticed that the other piece to the banner has sort of a shape to it, so I pulled out that punch and you saw me just quickly punching it's sort of, I don't know if it's like a parenthesis almost. It's a Martha Stewart punch anyways, and it was the closest thing I had to the shape that you see in the sketch. So I went ahead and punched that multicolored paper. I love that multicolored paper, and because it's so bold, I thought it was a good fit to add there. It brings in some of the colors, but in a more solid, bold way, and then it also brings in the black, which is going to be my contrasting color that really makes everything pop. And now on this side, I'm flipping everything. So I'm going to use all of those punched out hexagons, and I didn't want to, I think originally in my head I thought that I could set it up, and maybe I should have done this side first. Oh, my husband brought me a beer because he knew that I was struggling. I was really struggling with this side. When I originally kind of thought of this idea, what I should have done was I should have done this side first and used the negative space as a template and laid down all of my hexagons where I wanted them to go so that they matched up, but I didn't do that. So I struggle a little bit with getting them all placed down and stuff. So I saved you also from watching that, because it was probably a good half an hour of me trying to figure out how I wanted these hexagons to look. In the end, I think they turned out really nice, and I'm okay that they don't match, because I really don't think with everything going on in the layout, I'm not sure that you would have been able to pick that out anyways. So yeah, so I'm okay with how everything turned out, but they did give me a run for my money for a little bit. So now I kind of have that basic design laid down, and my hexagons are, kind of haphazard. They're all lined up with each other, but they're not all in straight rows, and there's a few spots missing here and there, just so that you could see some of that mixed media poking through. And also on this side, I have one vertical and one horizontal photo, so I kind of had to make sure that everything fit nicely with the photos too. And those strips of paper are now going lengthwise down the paper, so I'm running them vertically instead of horizontal. Basically, I just flipped the sketch. But everything's going to stay the same. All the dimensions, all the lengths, everything like that stays the same. And so that's what really helps to tie the two pages together. And then I realized I didn't have a lot of things to embellish with. I don't have any of the matching ephemera or anything like that from the Hello Love. So I went into my summer iris container. It's the container where I kind of keep all of my fun summery stuff, travel themed stuff, because I have this album that I'm working on from 2 years ago, and then I also have the one from last year, so I kind of keep all of that together. And I noticed that those two sticker sheets both had the matching colors, so you can see that I pulled out the hello and the smile, and then the other round sticker, so I used those. I have two black cameras on either side. Those came from I think it's called Wonder, that like enamel sticker sheet. I added some puffy stickers from the Pink Fresh Studio travel collection from this summer. What else? Oh, and then those two little word chipboard, those came from Freckled Fawn, and all of those little washi tape pieces came from Freckled Fawn. In the sketch, it has a spot that says big title, and so I really wanted to make sure I had a nice big title, so I pulled out these foam words. I can't remember exactly which collection those ones came from, but I loved the Create Awesome, so I definitely pulled those out. And the memories that came from that enamel sticker sheet were just perfect. And then I thought maybe I would use that Go up at the top, so it would say Go Create Awesome Memories. But then I saw that Ready to Go, and I thought that actually worked even better. So I really like how this all turned out, and it really fills in that white space nicely, and that black definitely makes all of the colors just pop. They look so much cleaner and brighter. So I really love how my title turned out. The Ready to Go also gave me the perfect spot to bridge the two pages together and really make sure that when you're flipping through the album, your eye connects the two of them and you know that they're meant to be one whole page. So yeah, I like how that all worked out. I'm pretty proud of myself, because titles aren't something I do very often, and I struggle a lot with those really big word stickers and these foam thickers and stuff like that. So yeah, go me. I really like how it turned out. I can't really remember where I got this washi tape from. It has all kinds of little words on it, and it says things like let's go and adventure and stuff like that. I don't remember which company it came from, but I thought that this would be a really nice way to give that Ready to Go little sticker kind of, I don't know, a little bit of grounding, and also just help it to stand out from the background. And then of course I wanted to put a little bit of this washi tape all over the layout, because again, I love the way that black really makes everything pop. And also in the sketch, you can see where there are spots that have little strips of washi tape. Or I mean, you could replace them with other things. You could do banners, or you could do little word phrases or stickers or whatever you want. But when I saw those spots on the sketch, they definitely cried washi tape to me. So I think that's another reason why this sketch is so much fun, because you get to use up all that washi tape. And I have to admit, I was talking about the punches and how I don't normally have a lot of them, or I wouldn't normally gravitate towards them. I really, my first inclination when I saw this sketch was that I was probably going to use circles, because that's just the shape that I really enjoy and that I feel more comfortable with. But I'm glad that I pushed myself to do something different, and this is actually the second hexagon layout that I've done this year, so that's pretty cool. And I love how it turned out. I think it's so cute. I love the colors. Definitely unexpected for the photos, because really these photos have nothing to do with love necessarily, or these colors or anything like that. But it's really nice to be able to get all of these supplies used up. And it really shows you that no matter what theme your paper pads might be or any of your collections might be, when you just look at the colors, you can apply them to just about anything. So to finish my layout up, the last thing I did was just took a black marker and did a doodly border around the edge of the whole layout, and as well a couple of the little hexagons, the ones that I had bumped up, and a couple inside a couple of them on the left hand page too. And that's it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Be sure to check out the links down below in the description for all the other ladies who participated this month, and until next time, happy scrapping. Bye!